Whew, okay, let's pray that this live stream gets uploaded afterwards. I would be so pissed if this live stream somehow gets deleted. So I just said a little prayer. Hopefully it does not get deleted and it gets uploaded because I'm sure are going to want to rewatch it. People can't watch it now. I'm going to want to rewatch it, you know. But I've got more to say. And I'm home from work now. My energy's cleared and I just feel this divine spirit come over me. And whenever I feel this, I have to go live, and it just feels like it's going to be a powerful live stream. So I'm excited to share this message with you guys. So we got a good little crowd watching. I'm just going to get right into it. I don't want to waste any more time. Let me take a sip of water though. Appreciate you guys tuning in on this fine Friday. And let's hope the sun doesn't come in. I got my blinds open, and hopefully the afternoon sun doesn't come glaring in here. But if it does, that's fine too. So, okay. In short, we are, as I've said many times before, we're in spiritual warfare, right? I've said that several times over, and I've been in deep thought, and a couple of things came over me. Number one, I feel like I got away from my core message. For those of you that have been sub to me from day one, you've heard me talk about this before. This isn't going to be new. But for those of you who are new, you're going to be like, oh, that's Mike. That's where he's coming from. I want people to understand my perspective a little bit more and understand why I do what I do. And ultimately why I have a second channel. Okay. Why I have a second channel. It makes sense to have two solid, strong channels in a time where they are essentially digitally duct taping the mouths of anybody who goes against the mainstream narrative. And I fall into that category. So the reason why I do what I do is not because I'm engaged in some political fight, like, oh yeah, go Republicans, go conservatives. It seems like that sometimes, but that's me kind of straying away from my core message. Okay. My core message has always been, and this is why I believe that this was divine. I was called to this mission by God because I saw something happening in our world and I couldn't stay silent about it. I had so many thoughts, so much energy, and I could just never find the right way to get it out and to get it in front of an audience that would be receptive to it. And so I figured the YouTube channel, the Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the social media platforms were a way for me to kind of launch this into the ether and just let it disperse. Whoever receives it, great. Whoever rejects it, great. I'm not forcing it down anybody's throat. I'm not intruding on anyone's space. I'm just delivering my message. So we're in a spiritual warfare, and I firmly believe we're on the right side of it. And when I say we, I mean people who believe in freedom, prosperity, individuality, self-reliance, self-governing. And if you believe in your divine creator, you will be living your best life. There's a reason why, and I'm not being biased. There's a reason why I feel like conservatives are happier people. Conservatives and a lot of YouTubers even, they won't touch this. Either they won't touch it or they subconsciously think or feel this way. They're happier people because they know everything is good. They're connected to something higher than themselves. I believe that. Some would call it God, call it Buddha, Allah, whatever. Wherever you rank, wherever you fall on the faith spectrum, it doesn't really matter. I feel like conservatives are grounded in principles, in morality, and in just divine energy, light energy. The left, if you notice, they're always angry. They're always upset. They're always mad. They're always outraged. There's a constant crisis. Where does that come from? I believe that comes from dark, nefarious energy. That's all we are, is just bodies of energy. Think about this. And see, this is where I will lose some people because they're like, what are you talking about, Mike? You lost me. Think about it like this, okay? We're humans, right? We're all humans, regardless if you're Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, it doesn't matter. Nobody's making it out of here alive. We all get about a nanosecond on this planet. That's it. It's a blink of an eye and then you're gone. However, you're not gone. And I say that because we are multidimensional beings and we're having a human experience, a human carnation. We are in these bodies, they're just shells. And why that's important to never forget is because that energy that connects us to divine source, multi dimensions. Think about when you dream, think about where you go. You go somewhere, you have a soul. I think we almost all agree on that. Like we're all souls. We're not like plants. We're humans. Where does that energy go? I feel like the dark energy wants to keep us trapped in this low density, low vibration, negative sphere, this world, this realm, this prism of dark, negative energy. That's why you have so many people obsessed over their gender, over their skin color, over their eye color, their hair color, stuff that doesn't matter. When you leave this world, you're gone. You're gone. You're into a different realm. You have spirit energy. Your spirit is energy. Your soul is energy. And it doesn't matter. This is why I feel like I'm living my best life, because I let these distractions in this world, this stimulus that we're all responding to. I'm guilty of it too. I'm not going to like I'm on a high horse. We're all responding to this stimulus. And we have the option to respond to it or ignore it. For me, most of it rolls off of me like water off a duck. I don't give a damn if you're a white supremacist, a black supremacist, a Islamicist, because that's a thing too. You know, Islamicist, superior, supremacist, whatever it is, it doesn't matter, because no matter what you think, you're going to pay taxes and die. Nobody's getting out of here alive. So tell me again how white supremacy is a thing and why I should be worried about it. And oh, by the way, who decided I should worry about it? Why? Who said it? One person said it, or a small group of people said it, and then other people just started agreeing. And next thing you know, they let their entire reality be dictated to them by another person. We're all interconnected, but I do believe, that there's energy and it's either good or bad. I really think it's that simple. That's where you draw the line. Is something good or bad? Is it right or wrong? Is it stimulated by light and love and positivity, or is it dark and negative and low vibration? Period. So that's why when people talk about all this stuff, and I get caught up in it too. And this is why I say I feel like I strayed from my core message, because I used to talk about this stuff when my channel was super small. For those of you that have been around for a while, I've talked about this before. But I felt like I couldn't truly blend it in with politics and stuff, because they kind of go hand in hand. When you talk about Democrat and Republican, that's not important. Conservative, liberal, that's a little more important, because then you're talking about psychology, philosophy, ideology, worldview, that kind of thing. And I feel like, and I know this to be true, 99.9% of conservatives that I've met, I've clicked with. I felt the same positive love, light, energy from those people. And from the left, and this isn't everybody on the left, and it's not everybody on the right, because it is a false left-right paradigm. We're divided by all these man-made artificial barriers to keep us divided, keep us distracted. But a lot of people that I've met on the left, I just get this feeling, and it may not even be their own fault. They may not know what they're doing. We've all been subverted. I'm going to get into that in a second. A lot of people, I feel like, have just been overtaken by this dark force of energy. They've let the world impose its will on them. And the reason why conservatives and people that I've met and Trump supporters and in general, not everybody, of course, we're freedom fighters because we're saying no. At the end of the day, it's about the people versus the state. Doesn't matter if you're left or right or Democrat, Republican, pro-life, pro-choice. That kind of matters. That actually does matter, but I'll get into that in a second. We're not divided by the way the left has tried to divide us. And really, it's not the left, it's the state, because when you can divide people, you can conquer them. So where does the energy come from that goes into somebody, stimulates them for them to believe that they should control reality for others? This is true of all politicians. I think at some point they feel that they have the ability, the wisdom, the guidance to govern other people. It's never worked throughout human history. It never will work. That's why you have so many people pushing back, like, don't tread on me. Let me drive my own destiny. We are all ultimately in control of our own destiny. But because of identity politics, me as a black man, I get told that I have some shared experience, and therefore the way I choose to live my life should be based solely on that. And I could not disagree more, because we are individuals. We are not supposed to be controlled by others. We're not here to be following this matrix, but so many people are in the matrix on both sides. And it didn't occur to me that I had fallen away from that message until I started getting pushback from some conservatives on the Ben Shapiro video and on the Antifa video and other random videos. So I read everybody's comments. I try to read almost every single comment I get. I enjoy that. But when I hear people push back on me just simply disagreeing, that tells me that I've fallen away from my message. And there's work to do, because I do believe it's easier to reach people who are kind of on the same side, like they agree on certain principles and grounding ideology. It's easier to reach those people. But I think the world would actually be a better place if everyone saw themselves as an individual instead of a part of some collective. Okay, so I just wanted to get that out of the way, because one of the things I never really talk about, but I should talk about a lot more, is how we got here. How did America get here? And why is America so blessed? Why is America the most blessed, prosperous nation in the history of humanity? Why? God doesn't make mistakes. Why are we here? Why were we born here? Every single one of you that's here in America, why were you born here, not Venezuela? You could be going through all kinds of tyranny right now, eating dogs, starving. You could be in parts of Africa. You could be in parts of Europe that aren't doing so well. You could be anywhere else, but you were placed here. Why? America has the most freedom. It's not perfect. I know some people, they're not ready to hear the message. They're blocking it out right now. What are you saying? America is perfect? No, America's not perfect. However, the principalities that made this nation great are freedom and liberty and independence. I would align those with light energy. However, it's not perfect, because you have good people and you have bad people. There's a reason why some people are murderers and some aren't. What stimulates you to carry out actions? That's how we're divided. It's good and evil. And how we got here, I believe, let's see, how do I articulate it best? There's really three ways to describe it. Okay. So the first way, and I really hope some of these other YouTubers are listening. I know some of your favorite YouTubers are fans of my channel. I don't say that to brag. I say that because I'm honored. It's great. So Anthony Brian Logan, Brandon Tatum, Patricia Dixon, Justin Wilson, these are all people sub to my channel. This is great. I love it. I'm fans of them. They're fans of me. It's all good. But I hope that more YouTubers will take this message and kind of run with it, because I think we can crack this matrix that we're constantly battling. You notice the left, they have a stranglehold on culture. That's why they're trying to knock us off our center square. That's why there's all this fighting. And here's what I feel like, okay? And gather my thoughts. I feel like when abortion comes up, when this topic comes up, that's when I feel the most spiritual. I'm more spiritual than religious because I feel like when I'm more spiritual, I reach more people. But I'm more spiritual than religious, especially when it comes to abortion, because it's you don't even have to make a religious argument for it. It's just, are you gonna destroy the most divine creation, human life? It is a unique genetic code made up. It's divine energy that deserves to exist. But on the left, it's just they want to play God. They feel like God made a mistake. She shouldn't have been pregnant. She should have the option to get rid of it. It's just write it off, just throw it away. It's because the left wants to play God. That's why they think they can change the climate. That's why they think you can play all these genders. That's why somehow science has made it so that men can get pregnant. Don't ask me how, but somehow a man can carry a baby in his stomach. Obviously, I know that that's not the divine order, but the left and people on the left, people who support the causes of the left, again, don't hear left, right. It's just, that's just by habit. I call it the left. But those that are stimulated by low density, negative, low vibration energy, they reject the divine. So they seek to disrupt the divine order of people who are connected to light source. People who are connected to light source, they don't have a care in the world. They're the happiest people you're going to meet. But there's ways that we got here. It's because the left controls everything. Some might call it social engineering. You might call it cultural Marxism. I call it ideological subversion. If you guys want to know more about that, all you got to do is go through my playlist. I've talked about it before. In my playlist, I think the playlist is called The Rabbit Hole. It might be called The Rabbit Hole or it's called Truth Bombs, one of the two. But in this playlist, I have a video from a guy that was a Soviet defector. His name was Yuri Bezmenov. Okay. He was, he infiltrated several countries and he taught ideological subversion, which is, again, cultural Marxism, social engineering. It takes about 20 years to destabilize and destroy a country. You have to destroy it from within. Again, we can never truly win this battle. We're always going to be fighting. I know it seems like we just got to get over the hump. We just got to get Trump reelected. We got to lock down our borders. The left is always, it's always going to be there. The only way we can combat it is defeat their ideas in the public square. That's why I am so pro First Amendment. Let the worst people in the world speak, because in order to defeat their ideas, you got to confront them head on and you got to do it with an audience. Because if you can defeat their ideas, you're going to have more people agree with you. And if you're fighting for the right causes, that's a win. That's why I say, why bomb ISIS and all them in the Middle East? I get it. We got to keep them at bay. But until we defeat the ideas, it's just going to keep coming and coming and coming. Same thing here in the US. This is going to be an ongoing fight because of the low energy infiltration. So there's 4 steps to this. There's 4 stages, and I can prove to you. I'm going to give you examples of how each of these steps is 100% accurate. Okay, the first step is demoralize, and it takes 20 years because, to backtrack a little bit, it takes 20 years because that's essentially a generation of people. And I believe for those of us that are millennials, it happened hardcore with us, right? The old school Marxism was like proletariats and bourgeoisie. It was like the worker versus the boss, and that didn't work. They try to convince people like, we need to overthrow this because, you know, you're not getting paid fairly and blah, blah, blah. They weren't able to do it. Why? Because people were happy in their lives. They were connected to, they tried to destroy the US a long time ago, but they weren't able to do it. It wasn't successful because people had morality. They had principalities. They had, I don't know, they were grounded in something. Call it God, call it the universe, whatever. People were, they can't, it was a different era. But this time it's different. Now it's cultural Marxism. Now the new bourgeoisie is straight, white, Christian, male. It's the family unit. It's God. It's Christianity. It's all of the things that hold a society together. It's the divine order. Families are divine. It's natural. It's the natural order for man, woman, child. Why is it that if you say normal family, man, woman, child, that's considered hate speech? It's because they've demoralized our culture. So let me give you some examples of how they've demoralized our culture. Number one, the destruction of the nuclear family, right? They've destroyed the nuclear family. They got the man out of the home. They've got women protesting against men, wanting to compete with men, just blurred the lines, just destroyed the family. The family unit has been destroyed, the concept of it. And of course, they've used propaganda, television shows, all the imagery and optics that we see. It's getting worse. I'm not that old, but I'm old enough to remember when it wasn't considered hate speech to show a nuclear family on TV, when Mother's Day wasn't trying to be, when they weren't trying to destroy Mother's Day and Father's Day. They have this term, heteronormativity. Where the hell did that come? Who came up with that nonsense term? The left, people that want to destroy the country. So that's how you do it. What else have they done? Gender blending, right? They've blurred the lines with gender, and they do it at the elementary school level now. Think about this, like, and it's not me being homophobic or anything like that, but it's like, really, gay Santa? Really? Arthur's teacher, whatever, getting married, Mr. Ratsworth or whatever his name is. They're introducing it to kids. Why? They're trying to just disrupt that divine order. That's demoralization. They've demoralized us. With the pedophilia stuff. Why? Where's this? Who is pushing this agenda? Who's the person? Where is it coming from? Drag queen story hour, all of the stuff that they're pushing on kids. And it goes all the way. It's K through 12, and then it's college, all the way up. They're just factory farming a mind. That's all they're doing, is creating a mind. So they get the kids out of the home. Why is the left against homeschooling? Shouldn't you have the most influence over your kids? Who should have more influence over your kids than you? Right? Okay, so why is it that the leftist politicians are against school choice and homeschooling? Again, why is all this happening right now? Why is it right now? I don't want to get off on this tangent. I got to stay focused, but I'm going to get to it. There's a reason why all these states are starting to pass this abortion ban now. We're fighting back. Good is fighting back, right? If you're on the left, they consider this evil. Outlawing abortion is considered evil on the left. Is that not the most upside down, backwards, reverse order thing you've ever heard? Like, it's more evil to preserve the life, acknowledge the life of a divine creation. It's more evil to acknowledge that than it is to actually kill them after birth. Ralph Northam, Virginia, New York, infanticide. That is less evil to our liberal leftist counterparts than it is to protect the innocent life of an unborn child, a divine creation. Again, they think God makes mistakes. Matter of fact, and it's not everybody on the left. If it applies, then cool. But if it doesn't, let it fly. If you're a leftist and you're watching this, but maybe this is subconscious. And I hope some of the YouTubers that watch me, I hope they get this and incorporate it in their message somehow, incorporate it. Because what they've done is they've demoralized our culture. I got a list thing because I don't want to miss anything, guys. Like, straight up. Okay, so destroying the nuclear family. They want to take God out of everything. They don't want to say God bless America. They don't want God in our society at all. They're teaching kids that humans can control the planet. Yeah, right. Mother Nature could wipe us all out with a couple natural disasters. You think we have control over that? Yeah. Good luck with that. But they want kids to believe that it's humans that do this. We can control everything. Okay. So that's how they've demoralized us. They've pushed all this propaganda on us. K through 12, children's books, children's cartoons, magazines, all of that. Step 2, destabilize us. How are they destabilizing us? How have they destabilized us? Number 1, immigration. Immigration. What's the platitude they constantly repeat? They say this country was built on immigration, and Immigration makes us stronger. Diversity is our strength. No human is illegal. Migration's a human right. I tell you, man, they're like the leftist protesters that spew this nonsense. They're like pull string dolls. They can only repeat and recite the same pre-programmed slogans and taglines and platitudes that they've heard politicians say. Bernie Sanders out there talking about healthcare is a human right. Sorry, Bernie, my rights don't come from you. Nobody's rights come from you. You're just a person. I'm going to outlive you, Bernie. I'm sorry. That's just the nature of it. So why does my rights come from you? Because you said I have rights. I have rights. See, this is that common sense. It's just, I'm not saying anything profound. This is, everybody should know this. This should just be something that people know. Like, wait a minute. I didn't even know who Bernie Sanders was 5 years ago. How is it that he comes along and he decided I have rights and I'm supposed to just go with it? Like, sorry, buddy. My rights come from God, not government. But they've destabilized us by pushing big government. Big government destabilizes across the entire world. It's tyranny. So that's how you destabilize. Labor unions, they get people angry. They tell people you're not being paid enough. You need more than $15 an hour. Your minimum wage is too low. No one should have to raise a family of 4 off of minimum wage. Well, you're damn right. Let's look at each case and understand, okay, well, why do you have 4 kids and not even a high school education and you're flipping burgers? No judgment, but let's understand why that is, because that's not supposed to be the case. I worked at Burger King when I was in high school. And then I moved up as I got more skills, and that's how it's supposed to go. It's supposed to be a natural progression. As you get older, you gain more skills, you learn, you take up a certain field and you make more money and you reach your peak earning years when you're in your 50s or 40s or whatever it is. But they've used propaganda, they've used immigration, they've used Islam, they've used labor unions to destabilize us. To get us fighting, to get people uncomfortable. After they've demoralized, now they destabilize. What's step 3? Radicalize. They have radicalized us, and I noticed it took place under Obama. That's when it started. I mean, back in the day, you had your counterculture revolution, but that was about get high, hippies, yay, Woodstock, all that. But it changed under Obama. Look at what happened. Antifa, Black Lives Matter, La Raza, the LGBTQ movement, feminism. Those are radical movements. And what do? They're mobile. They've mobilized. They take to the streets. They hold protests. They hold up signs. They're in the streets marching. That's radical. Marching against everything that's been created here. Every meaningful invention to ever come about that has revolutionized, changed the world. Every single invention that's meaningful has come under a free market capitalist society right here in the United States. Is that not divine light energy? Is that not what God wants us to do? To be our best selves, to live out our divine destiny? You can only do that if you don't have people like Bernie Sanders saying, I'm going to raise your taxes, give you free health care. It's because of the freedom. And think about everything that we take for granted, myself included. I can go to my faucet right now and pour clean drinking water right now. How many places in the world people have to go and hike for hours and miles to find water that's clean enough to drink, and they hope it's clean enough to drink? We take almost everything for granted. It's human nature. But nobody takes things for granted like the left. They hate this country. The average social justice warrior is sitting in a Starbucks right now with their $6 latte, tweeting from their iPhone about how much they hate America because it oppresses minorities. Some white SJW in Seattle, someone's doing it right now, retweeting Alyssa Milano like, oh my God, yes, let's tear down this racist patriarchy, this society. Like, take your ass to Venezuela. Take your ass to Sub-Saharan Africa. Go to some of these countries there where people are living in squalor. They have no electricity. They're lucky to have water. They're lucky to get food. They're malnourished. And we take everything for granted here. So you have to wake up every day. And this is why I say, this is why I'm giving this message, because we all take things for granted. We all have to get to the point where we're grateful for what we have. It's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect. The people who are detractors, people who are not ready to hear this message, they're going to criticize and be like, you're just kissing ass of America. You're a white person, white man. They take all the low hanging fruit. You sound like a white person. They're living in the matrix. They've been told which reality to accept, and they just do. They don't think for themselves, period. But America's not perfect. But damn, if there was ever a country where it's a beacon of hope for the world, it's this one. That's why people risk their entire lives to get here, because of the freedom, not because of the free stuff. There's a difference between freedom and free stuff. Leftist politicians are proposing free stuff. There is no such thing as free stuff. If you spend 5 minutes as an adult, you should know that there's no such thing as free. All we have is our freedom, which was given to us by our divine creator. So to move on, they've radicalized us. Social justice warriors, all this corporate social justice, like, oh, let's put an oversized or plus size woman in Sports Illustrated. Nothing wrong with plus size women, but they're forcing all this stuff on us. Let's have Kaepernick kneel on the flag. They've destroyed everything. Holidays, all of that. So stage 4 is normalizing. They've normalized all of this. How have they normalized it? Because they have a firm grasp on the 3 pillars that construct our society, our culture: mass media, academia, entertainment. Those 3 act as a conveyor belt to keep people in a prism, keep people trapped, people hating America, people upset, people obsessed with their skin color, their gender, all of that, all of the nonsense, all of the man-made, socially engineered nonsense that divides us every day. This is why I can't make YouTube videos on every single story, because I'm like, yeah, I could focus effort and energy on that, but it's just nonsense. It's just a distraction. It's just propaganda. It's doing what it's designed to do, to knock people off of their center square, disconnect them from their higher self, their divine self, and get them angry, disrupt them. The darkness wants to trap you here. They're trying to trap us here. I know that makes me sound like some tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist, but damn, there's some truth to it, guys. Like, think about this. We're only here for like 5 racism, Jussie Smollett, Covington Catholic. Do you really want to spend your time here on planet Earth dealing with that instead of figuring out why you're here, trying to raise the vibration of the planet, trying to be a better person, focusing on within, living out your divine order? Your life will transform the very minute you transcend the bullshit. The very second you do, your life will change instantly. I am living proof of that, because I used to be someone who was trapped by things. I was so close to being completely subverted over the police shootings of 2016 when they were happening back to back to back. And I thought it was open season on black men. I was watching CNN. I had no idea that it was a lie, that it was propaganda, that they were inflating issues, that they were programming me with fear. I talked about this a little bit on my smaller channel a couple months ago, and some people were just like, this is crazy. I don't understand. It's weird. But it was just some idea. Science, it really is, that you can change water molecules by the words you speak over it. I believe in Christianity. I believe that too. That's where holy water comes from. You can change, and I think you can actually see water molecules change based on the words that you speak over the water. Human beings, we're like 70% water. So you got to be careful with the words you say. Language, words. Where do these words come from? And the words that you choose to take in can shape who you are physically. Right? It's like the word fear. I don't know where I heard this from. I don't remember who told me this, but I thought it was super cool. And I'm like, what if it's true? It could be true. Fear is actually an acronym. False expectations appearing real. Television, television. What are they telling us? They're programming us with fear. Fear is a vibration. You can measure it. You can measure words, thoughts, energy. When you turn on CNN and they talk about white supremacy, this and these mass shootings are on the rise. We got to take away guns. They never let a tragedy go to waste. They use it. They use people. They use children to advance their sick agenda, to divide and conquer and keep us trapped. Think about how free you are after you leave work on Friday at 5 p.m. Aren't you in a good mood? Why? Because you have freedom. Freedom, even in its smallest form, no matter how small it seems, it liberates you. It sets off the good brain chemicals. You're happy when you're free. The happiest people have the most freedom. At least they should. They should. I'm definitely happier when I'm free. I'm happier when I'm not at work. That's all they're trying to do, is program you with fear. That's what they're doing. They program us with fear so that we make fear-based decisions that go against our own self-interest. Like celebrities, college professors, they're always talking about negativity. Here's what doesn't exist. Here's the problem in the world. They never see anything positive. They never go out. I feel like they never go out in nature and just listen to the birds and the trees and the wind, the ocean. They never do that. They're always focused on what doesn't exist. So the way that they're able to normalize all of this is they've just created one giant cycle ecosystem of fear. They've convinced so many people that something somewhere is unequal. So therefore, I should always be fighting for something, fighting against something. Always, 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 always. It never ends. That's why I say this fight will go on for eternity. Now, let's shift gears into this whole abortion thing, right? Because there is nothing more evil or dark energy based than terminating someone else's life, whether it's an adult or a child or a dog or a bird or any kind of animal, any kind of creature. If you're hunting, cool. Was it something positive? Was it love? Definitely wasn't that. So when you talk about abortion, why does the left think that conservatives and people who are pro-life are evil? They're evil. They're literally pro-life. They care about life. The word life has a high energy vibration. Death is dark. Life is light. It's simple. It's binary. Everybody should understand that. If you're pro-life, you care about life. You care about people living. It's not, I said this in my video, if you guys haven't seen it on my smaller channel. And that's why I'm happy to have that channel now, because I'm happy I figured out how to use it, because I can take more risks. I want to do this full time, but the reason why I self-censor a little bit on this channel is because they're deplatforming everybody. My channel could be gone like that. Look what they've done to Laura Loomer. She's been banned from money. She can't get a freaking Discover card. She can't rent an Airbnb. She can't take an Uber. What the hell? You can't get a bank account because you go against the narrative. They're not just doing it. It's not just political dissent that they're trying to crack down on. It's truth. It's the channel We Are Change. It's Jason A's channel. It's Hedgehog. It's all these channels that have to switch what they're doing because they can't make a living because they've been demonetized, because they go against the narrative, because they don't fit the narrative. It has nothing to do with their political affiliation, but that's what they're doing. So I have to tread lightly. But when I talk about stuff like abortion, like, why are they so focused on anti-abortion? Look how it's framed. Look at the words that they use, or listen to them rather. And look at the words too, because it's always in a headline. Every article has strategic placement of words, optics within articles, optics on TV. Look at Bill de Blasio. I don't know if anyone's seen this, and I won't fault you if you haven't. Bill de Blasio's campaign launch video, I watched it. It's a joke. He thinks you're stupid. He thinks people who would vote for him are idiots. How do I know that? Because he showed the video of the little girl crying, looking up at her mom back in the summer of last year when they said Trump was separating kids at the border. That little girl was literally not separated from her mom, but he showed that anyway. That was on the cover of Time magazine. It was thoroughly debunked. The father of that girl said, yeah, we have a good life here. And I think it was Honduras or wherever. He's like, my wife just decided to take our little girl and leave to go to America. The little girl was used as a pawn to enter the country. The only reason she was crying is probably because she walked through the desert with her mom and some strange coyote. She's probably thirsty, hot, tired, hungry. She was crying for other reasons than Donald Trump separated that little girl. Blasio put that in his campaign ad video anyway, because he thinks people are stupid. He thinks people don't understand what's going on. They can't research for themselves. And quite frankly, there are stupid people. They do what they do because, right? So people like that, they're pushing all this programming and propaganda, gaslighting us. They want everyone to believe that it's evil to pass abortion bills, and it's not evil to kill a child after it's been born. That is the left position. You can't make this stuff up. I always say the truth is stranger than fiction. The left believes banning abortion is wrong, but infanticide is a good thing. And you should shout it out and we should celebrate it. Oprah, shout your abortion. There was a shout your abortion campaign. Let's go on a sex strike. Let's do all. It's coming from these pillars of control. Academia, Hollywood, mass media. They're all spewing the same exact message. It's not working on a lot of people. More and more people are waking up to it. More people wake up to it. I feel like a lot of you, if you didn't grasp some of the stuff I said, maybe in due time you will. Some of you get it. Some of you don't. Some of you subconsciously are like, I'm following some of what he's saying, but I don't get all of it. Just do your research, right? Decide what your reality is. Decide what your destiny is. No one decides it for you. The left thinks they do. They think they're God. They reject God. They reject God. They do. They choose government. Rights come from government, right? Migration is a right. Housing is a right. Healthcare is a right. Yeah, says who? Cortez? Kamala Harris? Who are these people that said that? So if they grant me my rights, that means they can take it away, right? Okay. So my rights don't come from people. It's so true. But with this abortion thing, why is it all of a sudden more and more states are passing abortion legislation? Missouri being the latest. You got Missouri, you got Alabama, you got Georgia, you got Ohio, Mississippi soon to follow, I believe, maybe Louisiana. That's almost in direct response to Virginia and New York with their Tony Patriot going in, talking deep. So I guess, man, when we start talking about abortion, this is where this gets me more than probably any other topic, because it represents such a sharp divide. It is the spiritual warfare that I talk so much about playing out right in front of us. Look at how violent. And what about the people that are angry about their lack of ability to end a child's life? Remember the guy with the purple hoodie? They called him Cuck Norris. He roundhouse kicked that chick because she was pro-life. I've seen a doctor go full satanic on someone who was filming him, asking like, hey, do you like performing these abortions? Like, how do you feel as an abortion doctor? He was a journalist, just asking questions. And the guy was like, yes, I love it. His voice changed. It was sinister. It was so dark and weird. The guy in Philadelphia, trying to dox those teenage girls and that elderly woman. Why is the left okay with this? Why are they so angry about that? Why are they trying to ban this girl, Soph, from YouTube, but they're okay with Desmond is Amazing and demonically dressed drag queens reading books to kids. What the hell is this? They're normalizing it. They want you to see it as normal. And they want to shut people up like me who say, no, that's not normal. That's what the left has done. They have subverted our country, our culture, really, humanity. It goes beyond the borders of the United States. It's Europe, it's Asia, it's Africa. Why are they pushing this in Western countries? Why are they pushing migration in Western countries only? There's no efforts to get people to move to countries in Africa or the Middle East. It's the other way around. Why are they flooding people in? Why? Western countries, love them or hate them, you wouldn't want to live anywhere else. These are the freest countries ever. And they're still not even that free. You still don't have all your freedom here. You don't fully own your property. You still got to pay taxes on it. Got to pay insurance. If you don't, they'll take it from you. They'll seize your land. That's what the left is all about. That's what the left is. It's government. It's government. It's not God. It's evil. So that's it. I just wanted to get that out there. I just wanted to let you guys know that is something I would talk about a lot more if I didn't get so damn caught up in all these partisan fights. You know, people get mad and I get mad, because I'm human. I fall into it. I found myself I was getting mad at just some of the comments people were leaving under that Ben Shapiro video I made. I'm like, are you freaking serious? This is where you draw the line. This is where you're like, oh, okay, Mike, you attacked our sacred cow, Ben Shapiro. I'm still subscribed to Ben Shapiro. I listened to him yesterday talk about how he agrees with Alabama's abortion ban ideologically, but he's like, they need to slow walk it because if it even makes it to the Supreme Court and it gets struck down, well, now we lost all that momentum because you were too aggressive. You didn't get enough people who are in the middle to support life. So you should have treaded lighter. You should have moved it back. Like, okay, let's start with 16 months. Okay. Or 16 weeks. Okay. Let's move to 8 weeks. Okay. Let's move to 4 weeks. Okay. Who cares, man? I'm proud of Alabama. God bless Alabama for being bold. It's bold action. The left takes bold action. Why are we going to slow walk it? Who cares? You mean to tell me we should slow walk it so that it hopefully will get people on board? Like, well, okay, let's just take baby steps to get them to do the right thing and agree with the right thing. Meanwhile, there's still babies being aborted. See, I disagree with that, but I still listen to Ben Shapiro. I still respect some of what he says. I like a lot of what he says. I agree with him more than I disagree with him. I'm just calling out. That's all I was doing in that video, was just calling out a lot of what he said as it relates to Trump, and he's misleading and he doesn't seem pro-America. He's not America first. That is true. He's all but said that. But the way that people were coming at me, it just made me realize, like, I have fallen away from my core message. That's my core message. When it's all said and done, if I could wave a magic wand, my channel would be about helping people live their best life, helping people break free from the mental chains that they've shackled themselves to. They have put those chains on their brains. Nobody's physically enslaved. You're not physically enslaved. I mean, if you're in jail, yeah, that's different if you committed a crime. But for the government, we have to ask permission from them to own a gun. We got to get a permit to drive. We got to get a license to drive. It's crazy. So I don't want people to lose sight of that. I feel like my connection's getting lost or getting interrupted. So I'm going to wrap this up. Let me quickly read some of these super chats because they've been flying in. I'm sorry if I couldn't read your super chat earlier. Thank you for sending the super chat. If you want, you can at me right now in the chat and type in what you said before and I'll read it. CR True 64 said they don't believe in God, or at least they've rejected God outright. 100%, 100,000% they've done that. You know, men can be women, women can be men. They've decided all of this. And so many people just agree, like, yeah, that's true. And then they'll go turn on MSNBC and listen to them lie about Trump and Russia and blame everything in the world on Trump. Oh my gosh, white supremacy. All these sleeper cell white supremacists are awake. They just needed someone to give them their marching orders. Who's buying that stuff, man? They are statistically irrelevant. And oh, by the way, who cares if they're white supremacists? If they can't get hit by a train and survive, what makes them better than me? Are they going to make it out of here alive? Can they live forever? Sure, maybe they'll make the argument, oh, the white man built the Western world. Okay, can you take it to the grave? Everybody has all of that. Because if they did, they would say, okay, this is God's divine genetic code. It is spirit energy, and the left wants to destroy it. And they think you're evil for wanting to protect it. That's the upside down world we live in. For those of you who have seen Stranger Things, that's what it is. It's the upside down world. There's a reason why, if you've seen that show, what do they call it? Demigorgons? What does that sound like? What political group does that sound like? Just to kind of bring it back to politics, because I think politics is a solid entry point to getting people to kind of break free and start seeing things for what it really is. Start looking at things through their own eyes instead of through the lens of the media or Hollywood or academia. Simeon Cave Creature says, weird, my bank tried to shut my card off for using Super Chat. First time that has happened. Anyway, keep up the good work. I appreciate you. Thank you. God, I wish I could go back and see everyone else's Super Chat. Yes, please sub to the backup channel, guys. I can't stress the importance of it. I need your help in growing that channel, because on that channel, eventually, I'll be able to take more risks, because there's a chance that channel doesn't get monetized. If it doesn't get monetized, well, hey, it's no holds barred. But this channel, I can't help but self-censor and tread lightly, because I want my channel to be monetized. Because if it's monetized, I can do this full time, which means that's that much more truth that I can bring. And I'm always open to the idea that I'm wrong about something. I do not have it all figured out. There is so much for me to learn. If someone disagrees or someone wants to have a conversation, send me an email. We can have a discussion, a debate, if you want to call it that. I'm open to the idea that I don't have all the answers, because I don't. I'm not right about everything. So I'm not going to put myself on some pedestal like, oh, I'm the moral arbiter of truth. I have all the answers. I don't. The left thinks they do. Bernie Sanders thinks he does. These utopian concepts that we're hearing from every single one of these leftist politicians is a mousetrap. Don't take the free cheese. So many people are running right towards it. Sheep being led to the slaughter. We have to fight that, and we're always going to be fighting it. There's always going to be these existential threats that I mentioned earlier. Socialism, globalism, immigration, Islamification. Those are all Trojan horses that will subvert human freedom. Doesn't matter if it's the United States, Great Britain, France. Look at France. Look at how France responded to their tyrannical government. It's still going on. It's been, 6 months since those yellow vest protests started? Look at Venezuela. People got ran over with armored vehicles. Imagine that happening here. That's what happens when you don't have an armed populace. There's reasons why there aren't wars fought on our soil, because we have an armed populace. We got to defend freedom to the death. We really do. And I'm not saying we're going to war, although somebody heard it somewhere, probably YouTube, probably some hall monitor that's going to report this and say, you got to take that guy down. He's dangerous. He's dangerous. The truth is dangerous. That's why they want to censor it. The truth is dangerous. And I want you guys to go check out High Impact Flicks if you haven't already. High Impact Flicks with an X at the end, because I've learned so much from listening to that guy in the last year or two. That's where I got all my information from, guys, is just researching, rethinking my assumptions, unlearning all of the nonsense, turning off the tail lie vision, rejecting fear of false expectations appearing real that come from Hollywood and TV entertainers, people who are caught up in this matrix vibration of skin color, racism, my white supremacy, the white man, everybody is white people. They're the ones blocking everything. Minorities can't be successful. We need government. Government, please come fix everything. Let's pass legislation. Alyssa Milano, she's smart. Let's give her a platform. Let's bring her on our news media so she can talk to people because she's so freaking smart, right? She's smarter than all of us. Not just her, it's AOC. How is it that the dumbest people have the biggest microphones? They have millions of followers. What is it about them that they're just so divine? They just they have infinite wisdom. Where is they getting it from? Who are they? Start questioning that stuff. I always do that. That's why it was so easy to start this channel and just start talking because I already think it. I already think this stuff. I'm already like, why do you get to say? Who are you to decide that's hate speech? What even is hate speech? That's not a thing. Hate speech? Who says that? What is hate speech? Who decided it's hate speech? Who came up with the term white supremacy? Who believes in it more than liberals? Who believes in white supremacy more than white liberals? They're the ones always talking about it. They're the white supremacists. They think black people, Hispanics, gay people, women, they think we're victims, pet victims. So they have this white savior complex. I'm going to save you with my white privilege. You poor little black person. You can't think for yourself. You don't know how to find an ID. We're going to call everyone who's against this racist. I can help you. I'm one of the good ones. They think black people and Hispanics, all the other subcategories they've put us into, they think we're dumb. We're all living in shells. There's no color. Once you die, you're gone. What does it matter what color you are? Who here is making it out of the world alive? Who here has figured it out? Who's cracked the code? Is it a white supremacist? Does that make them supreme? Are they going to be able to avoid paying taxes and dying? If they're able to avoid those, then maybe they are supreme. Maybe they have something figured out that the rest of us don't. That's why I say, let these people talk. Let them speak. Let everyone talk. The only way you defeat negative energy and bad ideas is you let the ideas be spoken. Let people hear them. Don't deprive people of hearing bad ideas. Instead, they block it. They ban people like Ben Shapiro or Paul Joseph Watson. They ban them and say, no, he's hate speech. He's negative. He's dangerous. He's a white supremacist. They never heard the man speak. That's what happens when you allow someone else to dictate your reality for you. I just spoke a lot, but this was on my mind, guys. And I really think it's all interconnected. I really, really do. I think it's divine. It's deeper than us. I know it is. I know it is. I know it is. It is deeper than any of us know what's going on behind the scenes. And I'm grateful that there's other channels covering it. I mean, I'm not against my fellow YouTubers that just talk politics. I love it. It's great. Everyone has something that they can give, something to focus on. We need to attack it on multiple fronts. There's people who talk exclusively about the Bilderberg groups and the George Soroses of the world, and the central banking and the what do they call it? The fiat currency and how the bubble's going to collapse. I know you guys have seen some of these channels talking about it. There's people who go down those rabbit holes and they talk about that. And they're not political. They're not even talking political. So check out the channel We Are Change. They talk about that a lot. Brian from High Impact Flicks, he talks about this false left-right paradigm. That's why I say get out of this political tribalism. We have to. It's hard. It's hard. I fall in it. I wear the MAGA hat because that's important. That's important. This is a symbol. This is a brand. This doesn't have anything to do with Trump anymore. This is a brand. MAGA is a brand. It will be here beyond Trump. The MAGA movement is going to continue. As far as I'm concerned, if I have anything to say about it, this is a declaration of independence and freedom. And it also draws the negativity out into the public eye so people can see what the hell is going on, because a lot of people are putting stock into what they're being told by the tail live vision and no stock into what they're experiencing in their day-to-day lives, which is why there's somebody somewhere talking nonsense. They're going to come in my comments and say a bunch of stuff. It's because they're still plugged into the matrix, but that's all right. They're not ready. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And I don't think it's necessarily going to be me. It's going to be somebody. So anyway, it's getting dark in my house, guys. You probably can't see me as well. I'm going to wrap up, but I appreciate all of you for supporting, liking this channel, following me. Some of my earlier subs, this isn't new to you. You guys have heard me talk about this. If you are new to the channel, just know where it came from. And if you want, go through my playlist called The Rabbit Hole. Watch any video in there. A lot of them have been taken out, I've noticed. Check out Truth Stream Media. There's just so much there that you can learn. And maybe you're not able to set up a YouTube channel and do what I do. I'm not the best YouTuber, but maybe someone else you know is. You can introduce them. Maybe you can just go out and talk to people. Maybe you can share with family members. Slowly but surely wake people up, because this spiritual fight is ongoing. It's not going to end. There's no end game. We can just continue winning. And that's what these states are doing. I think it has to do with something universally. Something has shifted where these states right now feel emboldened, empowered under this president to pass bold abortion regulation, outlawing it, outright outlawing it. Alabama. Props to Alabama, Missouri, Ohio, Georgia. Hopefully more states will follow. Now, to wrap up, they say, people think I'm crazy when I say, you know, Trump's not perfect. That's why he was elected, because he's not perfect. Nobody wants him to pretend to be perfect. We don't put politicians on a pedestal. He was hired to do a job. God doesn't make mistakes. How is it that after Trump got elected, you have people like me? I may never have gotten a YouTube channel if not for Trump getting elected. There are divine things happening under this president. Maybe not necessarily because of this president, but he's being used as a tool. How come everything they've tried to destroy him with hasn't worked? That could be nothing but God. Nothing. So, whew, man, I'm going to get off here. My mouth is dry. My head's hurting. I'm going to calm down, relax, enjoy my evening. You guys do the same. Enjoy your weekend. Go subscribe to the Magnificent Backup channel. That's where you're going to see videos going forward, at least in the short term, at least until I build it up to where it's monetized, to where I have 1,000 subs, and to where I can, you know, start growing it. And the only way to grow it is with those little short videos that I make, like the one I made about AOC that got like 500,000 views. I'm going to continue making those videos, and they're just going to be on that channel. This channel will be for longer, more interactive live streams where you guys can super chat. I'll have guests on here where I will continue to focus on the core message, the core and all of this nonsense. That's going to be on this channel. So stay tuned, guys. There's more coming. Appreciate you. Shout out to all the subs. I will still put links of all the other channels, all the patriots who set up channels and Facebook accounts, all of that. Go subscribe to Tony Patriot. Get his channel to 1,000 subs. He's been working hard. He's down here in Florida, and he has a message. You know, he's been called to this mission, so make sure you're supporting him. He's a moderator. He's been a moderator on this channel from the beginning, really, since I started doing live streams. So make sure you subscribe to Tony Patriot, and appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to all the super chatters. God bless you guys. God bless America. Let's make America great again. Let's continue exposing the lies, the negativity, the dark energy, the low vibration of the leftists. Reject propaganda. Wake your relatives up, your friends, your family. Continue stomping down for freedom of speech. Upload InfoWars, upload Laura Loomer, upload anything, everything. Speak video or live stream, whichever comes first. Peace.